The official results of the snap parliamentary elections in Germany are in. The CDU-CSU union won, garnering 28.5% of the vote, according to official data after counting ballots from all constituencies.
Wir müssen jetzt wieder schnell.
We must now once again become capable of acting quickly, so that we can do the right thing internally, so that we can be present in Europe again, so that the world can see Germany is once again governed dependably. In second place was the AfD, with 20.8% support. We doubled our last result. They wanted to halve it. The opposite happened. Our hand will always remain extended to participate in governing, to implement the will of the people, the will of Germany. We are ready to participate in governing. But a coalition between the CDU-CSU and the AfD is not likely. Friedrich Merz's grouping will most likely form a government with incumbent Chancellor Olaf Scholz's party, the SPD, which is voted for by 16.4% of voters. This is a bitter election result for the Social Democratic Party. It's also an electoral defeat. I think it needs to be made clear after such a result. I would like to thank everyone who helped us fight so hard in the past few weeks and months. In my opinion, this is a reversion to the Merkel period. It is the end of a certain experiment, because the so-called traffic light coalition, consisting of Social Democrats, Greens, and Liberals, failed to deal with basic issues. It seems that there will be no major shakeup in Germany. This means that nothing will change in Germany. Remember that CDU is the party of Angela Merkel and Ursula von der Leyen. That is the party that is responsible for the migration crisis and the Green Deal. Merz used anti-immigration rhetoric in the election campaign, but he doesn't have anyone to even implement these policies with. The Social Democrats will not agree to a restrictive immigration policy. What could be dangerous for the whole of Europe is the attitude of the most likely new German Chancellor, Friedrich Merz, who speaks directly about anti-American policies. For me, the absolute priority will be to strengthen Europe in order to achieve, step by step, independence from the United States. Hence, the inclination to talk about a reforming of NATO. We are approaching the NATO summit at the end of June. Will we continue to talk about NATO in its current form, or will we have to establish an independent European defense capability before that? The problem is that Europe, due to, among other things, Germany's diplomatic reset policy with Russia years ago, is too weak to defend itself. Hence, strong cooperation with America is crucial. Germany is militarily, geopolitically, and economically in decline, and I wonder where such rhetoric against the new government in America comes from now. Europe and Germany have nothing to offer. It's a bit like kamikaze politics. If someone is strong, then he should adjust the rhetoric, but it is pointless to quarrel with such greater powers, because it will certainly not do any good. The question is, will Polish Prime Minister Tusk, along with Berlin, also try to make Poland independent of the United States? Looking at the fact that Tusk accused Donald Trump of being a Russian agent and analyzing his recent anti-American statements, such policy cannot be ruled out. I can't imagine Germany not becoming a leading state in the issue of common European security, including Polish security. To understand Donald Tusk, you need to know his political history. The CDU, which is now coming back to power in Germany, allegedly financed a Polish party called the Liberal Democratic Congress in the 1990s, Donald Tusk's first party, which later became the Civic Platform. To a journalist's question whether the Liberal Democratic Congress had help from the CDU, I confirm that Tusk has always shown fondness for this German party. Your art of governing was a blessing, not only for Germany, but for the whole of Europe. That is why many expect Tusk to adopt an attitude of total submission to the new government in Berlin. Since Merz has announced independence from the United States, a similar dangerous policy may be pursued by Tusk, who has pursued such a policy in the past with his government. He will continue to be treated as an executor of German orders, even when it comes to policy towards Russia, because the reset policy that Tusk pursued years ago was not a Polish policy, but in the interests of Germany. It was they who de facto ordered Tusk to pursue that policy. I have no doubt that, under Chancellor Merz, Donald Tusk will not pursue a policy of sovereignty, but a policy of playing to the Germans' interests. Yesterday, before he flew out to meet Donald Trump, Emmanuel Macron said that he had spoken to Ursula von der Leyen, Olaf Scholz, and Viktor Orban, among others. Why didn't he speak to Donald Tusk? Perhaps he wanted to talk to someone in a decision-making position rather than someone who simply follows orders.